Hello everybody! Since I don't upload videos regularly, I recommend to subscribe and click the bell icon so that you will know when I'll post a new video. My channel is not much about woodworking, but in this case I have an old changing table that have a nice metal frame and I had the idea to reclaim it. The drawers and side panels are just rubbish though. So let's get started. After having removed the side panels, the first thing to do is to cut the new panels out from two spruce boards. I don't have a table so I use alternative methods either with a circular saw or with a jigsaw. And I think to see this could be useful for those of you that don't have a table saw tool. The circular saw is a dangerous beast, and the parts to cut should be kept from moving. And look at that, with hindsight that was a bad idea not to clamp the backside of the board. For the top, I reclaimed a scrap from the countertop of the kitchen that I saved for a day like this one. It's a beautiful piece of Sessa oak, or also known as Dartmoor oak. Since I'm cutting by hand, I have to align the guide to the set square for a nice and square cut. If you think to use the same technique, make sure the guide is firmly clamped and double check the distances before cutting. I cut all the four sides to be in square. And this saw is crap. This saw is really crap. To repair the part, I've prepared a batch of animal glue. With wood dust to make a very natural feeling. Animal glue is set tightening, set hard, and it's easy to sand. My saw makes rough cuts, so I have to refine the planer and filleting/smoothing the edges. For the face and bottom of the drawers, I bought some spruce boards already cut to measure. While from some planks I've cut the sides of the drawers boxes. Since I know the mark is low, I always double check the measures. Well, how to cut with the help of a set square and the jigsaw? First, take the required length. Second, put the blade in position where the cut should happen. Third, lean the set square against the saw. Fourth, clamp firmly the set square. And now you can cut. This method works just for cuts that are short, because the blade is never light and will drift away from the cut line. Eventually, take the width required as a reference for future cuts. The drawers are made joining together the sides previously cut. I've drilled 2 holes and 2 bores in square for each corner, and the sides are kept together by dowels, animal glue and screws. Instead of drilling the parts separately, as seen previously, this technique works better for drilling boards in square. The parts are clamped together with the help of a scrap board, so they are in square on both sides. The drawer's box is almost finished. Here I check whether the bottom fit correctly. The bottom is then glued, screwed and nailed, making it rock solid. After this job, the drawer's box is done. These are the two sides of the cabinet where the slides need to be attached to. To support the slides correctly, these parts cut from a 2x4 cm beam are glued and nailed to the sideboard. Since the beam was not thick enough, as a shim I used these stripes cut from a 3 mm plywood. Also, I've prepared these stripes from the same plywood that will support the drawer's slider. The support is much a reference than an actual support. The sliders will be screwed to withstand the weight of the drawers. Eventually, I found practical to nail the stripes instead of clamping. The whole process is then repeated for all the drawers and for the two sides. Because I've split the space of the first drawer to host two lower drawers, this piece of steel must be removed. Here we go, the side panel is attached and we can figure out where the sliders will go. The rolling sliders are made of two parts that mate together. This one is the part that goes on the bottom of the drawers. Now it's time for finishing with linseed oil of every unpainted wood part. Isn't it beautiful? When the oil is sprayed, keep in mind to wipe off the excess. Now the steel frame is attached to the top by the means of two hinges that will allow the top to be lifted up. The hinges cause a gap between the top of the bench and the top of the steel frame, so I attached these two stripes of softwood having a thickness of 10 mm. Mounting the side panels, the workbench begins to take shape. Since the sliders are larger than the frame, they must be installed after the side panels are mounted, and because between them and the side panel there was a gap of 23 mm, the beams were attached to the side panels to provide a good stand. Last touch: the face for the columns that are painted with the same color of the drawers' faces are screwed onto the steel columns.
The problem here is this side is out of maybe 1 or 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters. And also I forgot to consider a tolerance a couple of millimeters.
The solution is to insert a couple of shims here to keep the right distance, and remove all the sliders and cut a couple of millimeters from the sides of the drawers with a planer. Finally, I can install the faces of the drawers. I've seen this trick from Laura Kampfer, linked to her channel in the description. It is helpful to exactly match the required position. Here I've hacked this jig, saved from an IKEA furniture kit, to install the handles nice and well aligned. It's easy to center the handle with the face, just let the center of the jig match with the center of the face. I don't know how much this bench is able to withstand, but maybe, I think, 400 kilograms. See you next time. Thanks for watching.